Hi, we're Manny and Ashley from Is and Live Films. And after joining WLMA, we booked our highest package of $6,500, and our highest month was $14,400. Well, what we were struggling the most before joining WLMA was simply how to predictably acquire leads, and so we were largely relying on word of mouth, which is nice, but ultimately it's not sustainable. And then figuring out who our ideal client was, figuring out who we were not only as a brand and a business, but as people, are all things we continue to uncover more and more that were around the WLMA community.
Yeah, I also think knowing more of the business side of things and having a business structure in place, having a clear goal, having, like steps to take, things to meet, processes in
Yeah.
place. We didn't have any of that.
There were several things that changed in our business after joining WLMA. From an obvious standpoint, more money, and really more money than we were used to. And to see that monetary result from less than a year, I think even less than 6 months into the course, was just mind blowing. But I think more importantly, it gave our brand and it gave our business a face, a body. It gave it limbs, and it created this working structure that was living finally and breathing. And as the pieces started coming together, the vision for why we were putting ourselves through the sleepless nights, the very awkward and hard conversations with tears, learning skills that had nothing to do with photo or video, became so crystal clear to us as to why we were doing what we do.
How has the course coaching community impacted your business or even life positively?
The WMA course, the coaching that comes with it, and the community that surrounds it has such a positive impact on us. And then seeing other real people, ask questions and share their achievements has been instrumental in strengthening our mind and realizing that this is a long haul, right? There's not a magic pill. And what we really enjoy is being able to be part of a community that even shares their struggles. And yourself and Crystal and Aiden, are all second to none in how you guys approach wanting to help people and wanting to be of service to people. And then your guys' consistency, the whole WLMA team, their consistency throughout all of that is really just motivating for us to see. And it's just nice to see that and to keep on going.
Yeah, and then to touch on the no magic pill thing, we've had to make a lot of changes, even in our day-to-day lives, not around work and not around our business. So, we started feeding ourselves more in ways that are going to benefit us mentally, physically, emotionally, so that we are able to show up the best for our
Yeah.
business. And if we're not doing those things for ourselves or for each other to strengthen, our relationship as husband and wife so that we can be better business partners.
Yeah.
If we're not doing those things, then we're not able to give it our all with our business. And I think that was a big, like after our coaching call with Crystal,
Our first one. Yeah.
our first one with her, that was a really big eye opener. And that was super motivating for us to make
Yeah.
a lot more changes in our personal lives.
What are some unique accomplishments that you both have achieved that you're personally proud of?
Kind of to touch on what she said, some accomplishments that we've achieved is really just shedding our old personalities and shedding old habits. I know I, for myself, I had a tendency to be extremely negative, and I used to use a lot of like, oh, I should be at this point, I should be doing this, or I could have done this. Aside from feeling super accomplished and finally getting a grasp on how to make this business sustainable and profitable and fun, the course really reveals who you are as a person. And you have to be willing to swallow the biggest humble pill and make changes right down to your daily habits. And that can be anything. It could be, I mean, for me, it took, going to therapy and understanding how to emotionally regulate certain things. And because of this course, we've changed how we view ourselves, how we've changed the composition of our bodies even, and our minds are geared more towards knowledge and growth and structure and discipline. Like we're craving that now. Like when there's a day off, we're like, I want to get back on that routine. And we feel like we're becoming 1% better every single day. And so the course has changed us as people, but it's also changed our business.
Yeah, so I think a unique accomplishment for me that I've is pretty big is being more blunt or forthright in consultations, especially
Mhm.
because on wedding days, you get into like boss mode and you're able to call the shots and do whatever. But then when it comes to the consultations, they were always extremely nerve-wracking for me. They still are. My heart will still like race no matter how many consultations I've done in those 5 minutes leading up to it. But I'm able to be more direct. I'm able to problem solve. I'm not as nervous to ask questions and try to dig deeper and try to problem solve with the couple while we're on the call instead of second guessing myself
Mm.
afterwards and saying, oh, what if I had done this? Or what if I had asked them that? Or what if, you're always going to have a what if, but I've been able to get a lot more confident in my consultations.
Yeah.
Now, were you both skeptical before joining the program as well?
Um, we were somewhat skeptical before joining, because I didn't know who you were, right? I didn't know who Jordan was. It was an ad that I saw on YouTube, and funny enough, it popped up just as we were starting to talk about how we can ramp up our business. But you know, you, Jordan, you were very easy to research. We were able to see your work. We saw bits of your personality through, Instagram, and your work overall. And then what sold me was, you know the Jordan who was on the ad was the Jordan I ended up talking to and having the initial consultation with. So I'm like, okay, he's an actual person. So just from that conversation, I'm just like, I don't feel like I'm being scammed. I'm like, I don't have a reason to be skeptical. Like I'm looking at his LLC. I looked up, where it is in Tennessee. Like I looked up all those things. I'm like, he's a real person. So what is there to lose if I'm actually serious about this?
I wouldn't say I was skeptical. When we hopped on the call with you, and you hit us with the price. All right, well, it seems like this is exactly what we need. It seems
Mm-hmm.
like it's going to fill in all of the, missing puzzle pieces that we need in order to figure out how to get our business better. And we'd been talking about it for a long time. We'd been kind of doing a little bit of research for a couple of months. I'm like, maybe I should go back to college and take some business courses. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
maybe we should do this, maybe we should do that, maybe a workshop, but nothing really felt right. And so I will say, even though like the ticket price was kind of big, bigger than what we were maybe expecting at first,
Sure.
because we hadn't really done much research on prices for something
Mm-hmm.
like this. Um, Almost immediately, him and I were both like, yeah, this is exactly what we need.
Despite what it was. And I think you even, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you even said like, if you're not booking within the next whatever few
Like
months,
60 days or
there's like a
something.
money back guarantee or something like
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, they're that confident. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm typically the one to be a lot more hesitant and a lot more calculated
With
and a lot
dropping
more
money.
like, all right, hold on, let's take a little bit of time. Let's think about it. Let's make
Yeah.
sure this is the right thing. But for me, I wouldn't say there was skepticism, because almost immediately
Yeah.
on that call, we were like, this is what we need.
Yeah.
And we feel confident spending this money because we feel that confident that it's going to solve our problems.
Yeah.
Or help us solve our problems.
Love that, love that. And we're super happy that, you both joined the WLMA family as well.
And Aiden's in it too. We're just like, oh, okay, we know Aiden.
What would you say to someone who really does need a lot of help in their business, but they are just skeptical in joining? They're not sure if this is legit.
For someone who is skeptical to join WLMA but needs a lot of help in their business, I say if you're at that point where you need a lot of help, there's nothing to lose, because Jordan and his team and the WLMA, like they're all real people. They're all real people, and it's a community full of actual people who want to help and who want to give their best, and allowing you to have the tools to reach your goal. And whatever your goal might be, it could be to make a X amount of money or to get out of a certain job. The tools work. The tools work. You just have to put in the hard work behind it. And like I said, Jordan and Crystal and Aiden, all these people are here to assist you and help you. And it's all right in front of you. You just have to take a hold of it.
I think I would say what I would say to someone who needs help in their business but is skeptical of joining, everything Manny just said, but also you have to go into it with the mindset of there is going to be a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of work to do. But the tools are there. There's a whole community of people
Yeah.
who are there to help you, who are, going through the thick of it right now with you.
Mm-hmm.
And people like yourself and Crystal and Aiden and Tom and Christora, like they have all been at the point where the person who's skeptical right now
Yeah.
is, and they've been there and they've gone through it and they've built successful businesses. And so they're qualified to give you the help that you need.
Right.
And they have that desire. And I think that's a really incredible thing, to have people who genuinely want to help you,
Yeah.
because I don't feel like there's a whole lot of that.
And we know you guys do, because you guys are updating the course and there's constant refinements, and it's not just Facebook ads, it's other things coming up too on how to navigate meta and all those things that are approaching us, right? Because the market's always changing. It's an ebb and flow. So you all are constantly updating that. So you can't get much better than having a team that's so passionate about what they do that they're like, oh, I don't care if it's old information, I'm going to re-update it so that everyone can have a piece of that pie and succeed.